Hey folks, Suburban Cowgirl here. We are getting ready for the planting season, and what I like to do ahead of time, once I've ordered all of my seeds and everything, I've got a booklet that I've been writing things down in, just what I've gotten and when it's supposed to go into the ground according to the weather cycles that typically happen around here. It's been a little colder than they had anticipated, a little longer, so we're just now getting to starting in some of the seedlings. The room that I have them in doesn't get heated along with the rest of the house. It's got a little space heater, but that's about it. So got to kind of wait for it to warm up a decent amount in here before we really do a whole lot of anything. I've got a few things here. So I've got my book that kind of guides me as to what I am planning on doing and where it's supposed to go, yada yada yada. I've got the little stakes to kind of show you what you're planting. These I will sort of just lay down in between the rows of the planter for the moment, just to kind of keep track of what I've got going on. Because once you've gotten, 5 or 6 different things started, a green leaf looks like a green leaf until it grows. So I've got a permanent marker to write on this with. Don't use a pen or a crayon; it'll just wash right off, and then you'll be back to square one. So. And then I like to use these. You don't have to. You can just use small plant pots, or you can use styrofoam cups. I've done toilet paper holders, the little cardboard rolls, anything like that will do. This just makes it a little easier, and it's more stable of a surface to actually, start planting things in. You can move it around and not have to worry about it collapsing on you. So this one is actually a little greenhouse type dealie. It's got a dome lid that'll go on top after we reconstitute the pellets and put the stuff in. So. Then, of course, I've got a few seeds here. Not a whole lot yet. I've got an entire FedEx shipper full of them that will end up, most of them probably going in this year, but this is just what is going to come up the soonest or is going to take the longest sometimes. Some of the root vegetables take a little bit longer. So. And then, of course, we've got our water, because you have to reconstitute this before you can put those in. So I'm going to go ahead and unwrap it, and then we will start putting the water in. Okay, so we've unwrapped it, and in this particular package, this one's a little bit different than the one that I used last year, and I think I'm going to like this one better. It comes with a few different pieces. You've got your main piece, your tray that everything else is going to sit into. Then you've got your cells, which is going to sit down in that bottom tray, and this is where the little seedlings are going to pop up. Once we reconstitute the little pellets in there, it'll look more like a planter, but that's going to sit in there. And then this plastic piece goes on top. Now, if you don't have a greenhouse or like a bay window that you're going to put this in, these things will kind of help to focus the sunlight and keep the seedlings nice and warm while they're germinating. And then you prop it open when they start to sprout. Then you can take it off when they're all fully sprouted. But it'll kind of keep the temperature a little more even in there, and also keep any little nasties out of there while the seeds are trying to pop up. This one actually also comes with this little chart, which the ones last year that I had didn't have this, so you can kind of put down, it obviously matches up with the cells. You can put down what went where, kind of keep track of it that way. So that's something I didn't think about. That might be a lot easier than using the plant stakes or the stickers like I did last year. So we will get this thing set up. Let's see. So I'm going to take your cells and put them in there, and that's a lot more stable than the big ones I was using last year that were just black plastic. This seems like it's going to probably work out a little bit better, hopefully. Some of these pellets are going to flip over sideways while shipping, so just turn them all to where they're flat. That way everything kind of expands the way it's supposed to. And you don't have any like weird little hard edges that aren't absorbing the water. Okay, so all of the pellets are flipped over. So what we're going to do now is just put a little bit of warm water in each cell, and that will start to expand the pellets. You don't want to overwater them. You just want to put enough in there to kind of cover the pellet and let it expand. You can always add more later on. You want it to be the consistency of, damp earth, something that you would normally plant a seed in. You don't want it to be too watery, because then the thing will drown. Not enough water and it won't expand the way it's supposed to. So just kind of eyeball it, judge it, give it a couple of minutes, and it will. You can see that one right there, now that the puppy's growing. So They'll expand up and get softer, and then we can proceed with actually planting the seeds. Alright, so they have taken in the water and expanded quite a bit. You want them to be damp, like I said, about the consistency of damp earth. You don't want them to be mushy to where you've got water squeezing up between your fingers, and you don't want it to be dry because then it won't grow properly that way either. So they're all the way expanded, at least most of them are. There's a couple that still have a little ways to go, but they are ready for planting. So what we're going to do is figure out what you're going to be putting where ahead of time. That way you don't have an open packet of seeds and dirt all over your fingers and no place to go with them. We are going to start off with, see if we can get a picture of those, yellow Spanish onion, red burgundy onion, and sage in this one. And then on this side, we're going to go with the celery, parsnips, broccoli, and cumin. And the parsnips, you can direct sow or you can put them in here. I just like to get them a head start. That way I can put them out as soon as it's warm enough to. And then I've got early carrots. You can use them for baby carrots, great for salads, stir fries, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and open those up, and we're just going to put a couple of seeds in each cell, and then we will write down on this handy dandy little sheet that they gave us as to what is where. Okay, so after your cells have expanded, your little pellets have expanded, what we're going to do is go through and put your seeds in. With these type of pellets, you kind of need to go over the top of them with your fingernail or maybe a little gardening knife or pocket knife or whatever, and just break them up a little bit. That way it looks more like soil and less like a circle of junk. And that'll also help your root growth. When the seedlings are first starting out, they're kind of struggling, having to push their way through, and we want to give them as much help as we can. That way we are successful. So with most vegetables, what I will do is just put a couple of seeds into each pellet, and then you just want to cover the seeds gently with a little bit of soil, not a whole lot, just enough to cover it up. Really large seeds, I may only put one in, and if they're really tiny seeds, like a lot of the herbs that we're going to be planting, I may put 3 or 4 in. You can always thin them out later if you want to. And then, things like carrots and parsnips and the like, you can always use those for baby vegetables, and then, let your other ones grow to full growth. One of the things I would like to point out, the reason why I order from My Patriot Supply is because of this. This is the package that you would get in the mail. And it's in a Mylar envelope, so it will stay good for quite a long time, and no sunlight, air, nothing's going to get into there. Inside that bag, you're going to have a little plastic bag that contains your seeds. So once you're done with those, you can just slip them right back in the pouch and reseal them, and you're good to go for quite a while. I think each actually has a time limit on it. If you look on their website, it'll tell you, but a couple of years at least. So we're good with that. So we're going to go through and get all of our plants, all of our seeds planted in that same way. We're just going to repeat the process over and over again until everything's planted, and then we'll come back and we will show you what they look like when they're done and the domes are on, and then we'll put them in the greenhouse. Okay, so we've got our seedlings sown. We've got our little graph that tells us what is where. And on these, the bottom trays that go in here, it does have letters that correspond with this. That way you can kind of keep track of what you're doing. Unless you're, goofy like me, and then you just start planting and then go, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure those letters mean something. So, anyway, once you get that organized, you're just going to take your little clear lid here, and it will fit right over the top, and just kind of lay on to that very top piece. Some of them snap on. This one doesn't feel like it does. It just lays there. So, and then we're just going to take this, and this is the little mini greenhouse that I have. I used it last year with great amount of success. I really enjoyed it. Was, I think, a Mother's Day present last year. So, anyway, we're just going to slide that on there, and because we only have 2 trays that we're starting out with, we will put them both on the top shelf. That way they get as much sunlight and warmth as possible. This one does have rechargeable solar lamps, but they're they don't work real great. So anyway, that is basically the process of starting seeds. We'll go through this again probably 5 or 6 times over the course of from now until the middle of fall, and hopefully we'll have a pretty good harvest this year. So thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions. You can come see us on Facebook or on the YouTube channel, and we can also come see us at the suburbancowgirl.com. So it's late and I'm tired, so I'm signing out. Bye.